Yo, what's up? Ricky Sanders here. If you live for fast cars, greasy hands, and solving problems under the hood, welcome to your new favourite spot. I'm all about real fixes, no BS, and showing you how to keep your ride running like a champ. So go ahead, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's make some noise in the garage. Enough talk. Let's get ready.
Functions of engine oils. The main tasks of engine lubricants include the following items: reducing the wear of component parts of power units, cooling of parts and assemblies of the operating motor, reducing the negative effects of corrosion on metal surfaces. The positive impact of machine lubricants on parts and components of power units is difficult to overestimate. Without them it is impossible to operate pistons, camshafts, valves, and other elements operating in conditions of high temperature fluctuations, pressure, friction, etc. Regardless of the type of engine, whether it is a gasoline, diesel, or gas-powered engine, any motor needs the use of special lubricants. Results of driving with used grease. The following negative consequences occur when operating a vehicle with old grease: the engine overheats. Due to poor heat dissipation by the used lubricant, the friction force increases due to liquefaction of the lubricant, which results in increased fuel consumption, shorter engine and turbocharger life, etc. Reduction of resistance of metal surfaces against corrosion, accumulation of combustion products of fuel mixtures in the oil ducts, which leads to their clogging. To avoid such cases, it is necessary to check the quality and quantity of lubricant through the dipstick and then replace it with a new lubricant. Recommended timing of oil change in the engine. Car owners are rightly interested in how often to change the oil in the engine. To get reliable information, it is enough to carefully read the recommendations that are available in the operating instructions attached to the car, regardless of what is under the hood: diesel or gasoline engine. Frequent oil changes in the car engine never hurts, but also leads to unjustified overpayments. The frequency of replacement of the lubricating fluid in the motor should correspond to the operating conditions of the car. In this regard, recommendations for each model differ from each other depending on the use of cars in different countries and climatic conditions. When driving cars on the roads of CIS countries, the interval of oil change in the engine differs from European conditions towards reduction, because domestic roads are less favorable for the operation of cars. With forced delays in changing the lubricating fluid, you should not worry unnecessarily. Irreversible processes in the engine can begin after 14 to 15,000 kilometers of travel, carried out without oil change operations in the engine. Express oil change in the engine and flushing of parts must be done when buying a car from hand to avoid major repairs of the power unit. In this case, you need to determine the amount of grease through the dipstick, find out from the previous owner of the car how many motor hours passed this machine, what brand of lubricating fluid for the engine he used, how often to change engine oil depending on the brand of lubricant and fuel. How often should you change the oil in the engine and after? How many kilometers of mileage? Every foreign car in the service book has a check mark in the maintenance section, where the interval for changing the engine lubricant, equal to 15,000 kilometers, is indicated. But the quality of domestic brands of gasoline and diesel fuel is noticeably inferior to European or Japanese counterparts. The engine cylinder walls, which are washed with lubricant, are covered with a thick layer of soot as a result of combustion of low-quality fuel. When combustion products of fuel mixtures get into the engine lubricant, its quality changes and its properties deteriorate noticeably. As a result, the frequency of engine oil changes needs to be increased. When using special brands of grease with tolerances of long service interval, the time of changing the engine fluid is increased. With their use, the engine allows the car to run almost 20,000 kilometers without this operation. Not so acute is the question that it is necessary to change the oil. A vivid representative of the lubricant with an extended service interval, presented by BMW Corporation, is Oil BMW Long Life 01. To master the necessary knowledge to choose the right brand of lubricant, Familiarize yourself with the calculation of the frequency of this activity. Know how much oil to change in the engine, whether a lot of extra grease is needed. Acquire special skills, as well as a set of tools and equipment. Proper oil change in the engine is impossible without the use of special tools and materials. What should be prepared to make the procedure for replacing the lubricant fast and qualitative? To change the lubricating fluid, it is necessary to collect the materials following this list: the required amount of engine lubricant, designed for the model of a particular vehicle, in accordance with the recommendations in the accompanying instructions. If the wrong brand of engine fluid is selected, the engine may not start, and parts of the power unit will be subject to accelerated wear. New oil filter in accordance with the requirements of the technical documentation. Lubricant filler, convenient for pouring in lubricant. A tool for checking the lubricant level through the dipstick. Pieces of rags to remove grease residue. How to change the engine oil correctly on a new vehicle during the run-in period. It is also necessary to study the question of how to change the oil in the engine, through how much oil should be changed. Car owners of new cars, regardless of what power unit is installed on their vehicle, carbureted, diesel, injector, gasoline, or gas, use the warranty and justifiably trust the mechanics of the car service to perform measures to change the lubricant in the engine. The initial replacement of the lubricating fluid on a new car should be carried out using the brand of lubricant recommended by the automaker. Cheap analogs can cause serious technical problems in the power unit. At the initial stage of operation of the purchased car, it is determined how much oil will be required for its complete replacement. When to change the oil, ways to check the lubricant level through the dipstick, what type of engine fluid is most preferable to pour into your car. Algorithm of actions when changing the lubricating fluid in the engine. Before you change the oil in the engine, you must put the car on an inspection pit or trestle. The procedure for replacing the oil in the engine consists in performing the following actions. Open the hood. Place a container under the oil pan. Unscrew the drain plug using a special tool WD-40. Dismantle the oil filter. After complete draining of the used engine fluid, replace the drain plug. Pour in the flushing agent. Turn on the engine for a few minutes. Shut off the engine. Drain the flushing agent completely, pour in new oil. Install a new filter. When installing a new filter on the rubber seal, it is necessary to use sealant to prevent possible grease leaks. Diesel. Peculiarities of oil flushing. Diesel differs from gasoline motors not only structurally, but also in the way of lubricant replacement and flushing. Lubricant flushing is performed with the use of special means. In conclusion, regularly changing the oil in your engine is essential for ensuring its long-term performance and reliability. By understanding the importance of this maintenance task, you can prevent costly repairs and extend the life of your vehicle. Remember to follow the recommended intervals for oil changes, which can vary based on your engine type and driving conditions. For those with diesel engines, be aware of the specific flushing requirements to maintain optimal lubrication. With the right tools and knowledge, you can confidently perform this task yourself, ensuring your engine runs smoothly for years to come. Thank you for watching, and happy driving.